13%, Markita. I don't know how long that's going to last. Let me turn off some of these apps. I gotta turn down my.
Good morning.
All right, it's done redirecting. I think we are officially live. Meeting is streaming live. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you again, Markino. Welcome back. We missed you.
I missed y'all too.
Good to see you in the place. So you were doing some family time on some vacation, and now it's my turn. As you know, I am actually coming live from my car, and I have family in the background. So we have a special gentleman right here in the back, Papa. So this is my
Hey,
crew.
Papa.
Say, hey, Papa, I got you on my earpiece. So anyway, we are on the road. We're doing a special trip this weekend with my parents and, of course, 3 kids, 2 dogs, Alan and me. So this is going to be a fun, interesting trip. But without further ado, let's jump right in. As you know, I am down to 12% now officially. So I think I need to turn off some stuff to keep us, to make this battery last a little longer. I wanted to chat with you this week, Markita, about reverse mortgages. I got a call earlier this week asking me, was it a good idea to do a reverse mortgage? And I said, it depends. Certainly, do you have equity in your house? Is your house paid for? But before I start giving my opinion, let us hear from you, because again, I don't want us to run out of time or me run out of battery without hearing from the expert. Can you give us like a background on what reverse mortgages are all about?
So I think you gave the right answer, that it actually depends. It's just like everything in mortgages. Everybody's scenario is going to be different. I think there's been some probably over the years, the reverse mortgage program has gotten much better. So it has been, it's a vehicle to be a benefit to actually use the equity in your home while you're still alive. So if you're somebody that's over the age of 62, so you have to be at least 62 years old. You're able to put the equity of the house to work. Part of that meaning if the house is owned free and clear, and that's one thing, the house does not necessarily have to be owned free and clear, but whatever loan is encumbering the house would be paid off when you're doing the actual reverse mortgage. So it's allowing you to actually use the equity while still alive, but not have a traditional mortgage. In a traditional mortgage, you're going to make monthly payments, you know, on the funding versus like if you were doing a cash out refinance to take the equity out. This way, the equity is paying you either monthly streams is one way. The second way is a lump sum. I find it interesting. It's a very interesting product to be used as a tax-free loan, to be used as retirement income, actually putting your equity to work. So I think it can be used effectively in the right planning mode for the right family. I think the biggest difference, though, obviously, is the person still has to be alive and living in the home. Okay. So if they do pass, then at that time, the family has to pay the loan back or sell the house within 1 year. Okay. So that is the thing. So a lot of people gave reverse mortgages a bad name because they were like, hey, the bank is just trying to take our house now after, you know, whatever happened with the parent. And that's just not necessarily the case, or the senior. I shouldn't say a parent. I don't know what their actual setup is. But at the end of the day, you can use your equity as a stream of income monthly or as a lump sum. We've actually had someone in the past, which I wasn't the loan officer, but I was privy to how they set up a structured deal. So they took the lump sum equity payout and they bought a different house. It was like, yeah, so they ended up buying a different house, but it was something that they were using as want to be using as an income stream. So it worked out. So they were able to take that money and buy something else. Not for them to live in, but as an income stream. So again, it's a very strategic and smart way to use equity in a home of someone that's 62 years or older and the equity is not going to work, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, we need our dollars working for us.
Absolutely.
And that's what a reverse mortgage actually allows people to do.
So you said you can't use that money to take it out and buy something else. You have to actually stay in that house, correct?
Well, you have to stay in that house, correct? Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm sorry, as you know, again, I'm just for those who are joining us, and maybe, I am in the car, had a little background noise, but is it the best scenario is actually not to have a mortgage, or can you even do it with a mortgage? I'm sorry, I must have missed that piece.
You can have a current mortgage, but obviously that lien would need to be paid off. So it just depends on how much equity is in the house and how much of that equity over time you're going to be able to access. Unfortunately, has to do with mortality tables, and I don't. It's almost like insurance when they start looking at how long your prospective time frame they think you're going to live, how much equity is there will determine a new loan amount. So if you did have a loan, it can be paid off and wrapped into a new reverse mortgage. So that's a myth that you have to have it free and clear.
Okay, so would it be better though if you have a mortgage to just go ahead and do an equity line of credit? I mean, would that be the simplest way to do it, or what would be most beneficial? A reverse
Well,
mortgage in
I
this
think
case,
like you
or
said,
would it be more beneficial just to do an equity line of credit, or to wrap that reverse mortgage into, that current, if they needed equity out? What would be the better scenario?
I really think you have to go with what's best for that person, right? You gave the exact answer that needed to happen. You said it depends. And it really does, because the difference between doing an equity line of credit now is just like a traditional mortgage. You're going to now have monthly payments. Whereas on the reverse mortgage actually provide monthly payments to you, right? So interest is accruing on the loan. It does need to be paid back at the time of either moving out or passing away. The family needs to either pay the loan back via selling the house or refinancing it or whatever, and they have 1 year to do that. So I really think it depends on each person's scenario on how you want to work the equity. Yes, we could say equity line of credit, but again, monthly payments now have to be made. So I do think it's a smart vehicle. It could be a tax-free income that's coming in every month and making the equity work for you.
Right. That's a good thing. I appreciate that, because that certainly is an education, because we do have a lot of families, especially now with the way things have gone. We talked about it. This market and this whole climate that we're in now is completely different than the economic situation back in '08. People today have equity in their homes. We have a lot of families that are deciding not to move and stay in their homes, and there are many out here that actually don't have a mortgage. So in some cases, like you said, it depends on the situation. It makes sense for them perhaps to enjoy the money that's in their house and do a reverse mortgage. So
right. And is that, yep, that's correct. Have to be 62. And I had some stats on here that I had shared the other day about the number of homes that had equity in America, as well as the number that were actually free and clear. Hopefully I can find them while we're still on here.
Yeah, that would be good to know. Well, I also wanted to just tap in and just talk just very briefly about, again, we're talking about the market that we're in, and when it comes to our buyers, understanding that, you get the question all the time, how's the market? What does this mean? Well, we've been saying over and over about the inventory is very low, but also understanding that with low inventory, that means we're certainly in a seller's market. But what makes this a prime market for our buyers is the fact that the interest rates are extremely low. I mean, Markita, we have a veteran that's getting that has gotten like 2.75% interest rate. Now, don't start calling Markita saying, I want that 2.75 interest rate.
I'm like, yeah, see, look at you over here getting me in trouble.
That's for veterans with a, again, the scenario is very specific to the individual. So don't quote me, but just to throw that out there, rates are great. So it is certainly a wonderful time for buyers to buy, even though it is a seller's market as with respect to the inventory. Now, Okay, moving from that, I'd like to say, guys, again, it's a seller's market. When you make an offer on a property, please understand they are typically not on the market more than 10 days, if that. And I'm talking about this whole DMV area. And, you know, although the homes are receiving multiple offers. So going in, expecting the seller to reduce the price in addition to provide closing assistance, paint the whole house, clean all the carpets. What else? Oh, install washers and dryers. It ain't gonna happen. And I'm not trying to be mean, but this is the climate we're in. It is an excellent time for buyers to take advantage of the low 30-year fixed interest rates. Interrupt me if I'm wrong, Markita. And certainly you could probably buy more home now with the rates being as low as they are based on your individual scenario, debt to income always,
Right.
credit
Well, that's
score.
correct. That's correct. So we looked at an analysis from last year based on buying a home last year at this time versus now. And because
Yes.
the interest rates are at historic lows, you can buy 10% more house than you
Wow.
could last year,
Wow.
just based on affordability because of where the rates are. And that could be a big difference for someone. You know, taking someone from 300 to 330,000 might open up a whole new window of houses maybe they couldn't see, from 500 to 550, which is that 10% variance based on the rates being at an all-time low. And I did find my statistics about in America. So on
Okay.
average, 42% of homes are free and clear across the
Oh,
country.
wow.
So that's totally different than 2008. And 58% of those people have 177,000 in equity. Okay.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the
That's
numbers
huge.
do speak to that being okay. And another reason why we don't see the housing market crash, because there's two things that have to make that happen. There's going to be lack of equity and financial hardship. So we definitely have some financial hardship going on overall, but the lack of equity is not there that will cause a rash of foreclosures. If somebody really got into a position they couldn't pay, they would just sell the home versus letting the bank take it back and take their equity.
Yep. And for our silver generation, for those, as we talked about, that are 62 and older, they may think that a reverse mortgage would be a good opportunity for them to take advantage of the equity that they do have in the home and enjoy that now, especially if they don't plan to move. But going back to the whole buyer scenario, please know that your realtor, your agent for the people, whether it's me or Jeremy or whoever your representative is, it's not that we are not willing to do what you want, because we'll put it out there, but just understand, you have to understand that sellers are not in a position to do that, especially if they've got multiple offers and people are removing terms and conditions and you want them to paint the whole house or ask them for some cosmetic items. You want to certainly look for, structural things that are of concern, but maybe that's just not the house for you. But knowing that it is a seller's market, it's a great time for you to take advantage of the historically low interest rates as a buyer, but in a seller's market, there's really not a lot of wiggle room. Anyway, Markita, thank you so much. I know this one is short and sweet, but
yes,
I'm on the road, but I did want to stay consistent and true to being that information source with, of course, our Queen of Mortgage and yours truly. We're here for you every week. I'll probably be on the road again next week, maybe a
okay,
little quieter. But nonetheless, this is all about, again, just being your resource, being available to you and bringing you some valuable information each week. And if you have any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to DM us. Drop your questions in the comment section. We will follow up with you directly, or we can definitely follow up next week. My phone number, you can reach me at 703-216-2139. Of course, go to my website, www.agentforthepeople. Markita, how can folks reach you?
Pretty simple, just queenofmortgages.com, or you can jump on the DM, or you can also reach the Facebook page, Queen of Mortgages. That's pretty easy. You Google that, all of my contact information will show up. So thanks for welcoming me back. I'm glad to be back on the call. You guys have safe travels. I see Ringo peeking through there,
There
and
you go. There's my crew.
family is everything. So I commend you guys for loading up the truck and hitting the road and doing something to decompress and just spend that quality time. So
absolutely,
y'all enjoy and be safe. Safe travels.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to brighten my screen. I was trying to do everything I can to keep us on and keep this battery live. We're down to 5 minutes. We did it with 5% to go. Thank you, everybody who joined us. I'll look at the comments. I don't know what we have, but we'll definitely respond to you promptly. Thanks, Queen of Mortgage. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Everybody be blessed. Random act of kindness. We'll see you next week.